match. The first game, there was hardly any lets, and it went for like 20, 23, 24 minutes. Start of the second, it was like, we was watching like the late 80s, early 90s when there was like a let call every second point. And it was just like, you know what? Why are you even asking for a let? And then Diego, obviously when he starts complaining, he's in his own head. But then some of those movement from a cell, and when they really slow motion it down, it's just so blatant what he's doing. So then he gets a conduct stroke, and then after the first conduct stroke, the referee goes, if that continues, we're going to have to give a conduct match. It happened again, a conduct game, and it happened again, and it's just a conduct point, conduct stroke against a cell, and it's like, oh, man, come on, buddy.
You know what? I think the challenge with it is it makes it challenging to watch, right? Like it makes it difficult to watch. Whether you're on the side of like you think Asal's doing nothing wrong and he's the greatest player to walk on a court, or you're looking at it going, this is flocky and dirty. Either side you're on, it's fucking difficult to watch. And right? And I think that's a problem. Well, let's kick it off because I want to know let's do some call outs. Who is the biggest Barry blocker you ever played against, Whitey?
Well, besides you two and on this call, but
I'll touch a few hits in on the doubles.
Back in the day, it was Barada for sure. Ahmed Barada. You know, it was literally horrible. Didn't matter, especially in Egypt. If you can contain yourself outside of Egypt, where the times that I beat him was in Holland and it was in the British, and it was like you literally were mentally so strong because he would break down because he's not getting the calls he wants and he's get called out for strokes. You play him in Egypt, it was, or you play anyone. It was like horrible, absolutely horrible. I'd have to put Hindi up there as well.
Yeah, I was probably
in the early years. It was Barada, then he retired, and that's when Hindi started off. And when we played a tournament in Qatar, and this was probably a year after Barada had retired, and they brought a band out, and Barada was the lead singer, Hindi was on the bongo drums.
No way.
Right?
In the long shorts?
The microphone was not set up. He was lip syncing because we were all asked to hop on stage, and there was a few times he'd had the microphone and he'd start singing. We're like, "What is this?" And it was Barada's band, and the Hindi come out, and it's like, "What are we watching here?"
That's so good.
He couldn't be a nicer bloke. Like every time I ran into him, he's such a nice bloke. But when he got on court, man, he got in the. Did you play him a few times, Billy?
Yeah. I was thinking Hindi, nightmare. Like same thing. Like great dude. I love him.
I do too.
On court, mate, shock.
Well, they're all nice off court. Look at Hilly. Hilly drill you in the warm up, and then I'll come off half of the game and say, "Oh, you want a drink, buddy?" Yeah, nothing's wrong. It's like, you prick.
Well, and just a quick detour, Cameron. I noticed you played a pro doubles tournament on the weekend and did not come back with the W. Was there a few big blocks from him on the right there? What went on?
It wasn't outrageous. No, like we had a good run to get to the final, and then it's funny when you've got two big left-handers on the doubles court. You know, just absolutely going at it. There's going to be a bit of contact over there. It wasn't, we're not talking Barada El Hindi days here, but there was a few hip checks and swings and
always
a bit of body contact.
Who'd you play with? Oh, it was Ash Davies and
Josh
on the left wall, and them two don't like. If somebody gets in your way, I'm going to get in your way the next round. Yeah. Don't you worry about it all.
No,
that's where it's like that's my ball. Just take your space.
Yeah,
I played with Ash Davies at the Upper Wilderness last year. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I actually had a go at him as my partner because he was getting so upset. I'm like, buddy, you're trying to play the person. Just hit the ball as hard as you can. Make him go to the back of the court because he's he's got to go get the ball. I'm like, you're hitting a shit length, just like you did in the singles court.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's turn our attention to the event that just happened. We'll go to
I can't comment because nothing went my way.
Yeah, nothing went your way, Whitey. We'll turn to the women's first because the men's had upsets galore. There was a couple of cracking matches there. I've got a few of them up on the screen here, and I'd just love to get your comments on a couple of them. Starting with Nele there with a scraping over Gina, who's really putting on a tough show these days.
Yeah, I thought that was a huge win for Naylor. That one.
Mm-hmm.
Did not see that coming. She hasn't been in the best of form, the past season. But yeah, when I saw that result, I instantly thought this could be like I'd say more of a mental breakthrough win for her. I don't think anyone really saw it coming. Kennedy's she's such a tough cookie. Like if you're going to beat her, you're going to do it the hard way. And Naylor ran away with it 11-5 in the fifth. So all credit to her.
And then Hania down 2-love in her second round match against Hani. That's that must have been a bit of a shock to then go on and win the tournament from there, right?
Yeah, probably just a bit of a wake-up call, right? Look, I didn't see the whole match, just a few highlights, but looked like she was a little bit nervous, and Hani come out firing, and you come out firing out there, and if you're getting used to the wind, you're getting used to all this and that. But then you have a look at the scores. Once she got a little bit confident and relaxed, it was what it should have been, straightforward from there. Big difference in the 11-9, 12-10 to a 3-1-4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, in the last 3 games, she gives away 8 points total. So I think she found a groove there.
Yeah. Well, and then leading on to the biggest upset, I don't think anyone picked this one at all. And if anyone did pick it, I reckon the fix was in. But, Abu Elkir there just absolutely beating Satomi, which was a great win. And then El Shabini had a real tough one against Amanda. And then Abu Elkir went on and took her out 11 from the fifth. That's got to be a pretty big upset, yeah?
Well, definitely. They play well. Abukir to beat Watanabe that convincing. But then you have a look at Shabini. It's like she struggled. Like she didn't even look like she wanted to play when she was playing Sobi. Not taking anything away from Sobi. I watched that whole match. But the fifth game, I know the fifth game was 11-4, but it was very, very one-sided. It was almost like she came out for that fifth game saying, well, this is how I should be playing. I'm going to play like this now. But the first 4 games, it was like Amanda played well. She attacked. She volleyed very well, and she took it in short when it was there. And Shabini just didn't look in it at all. And then she came out in the fifth game like a completely different player, like the player we know she can play like. And same as when she went down to 5-2 Abukir. It was like the young one is, she looks up to her. She's got nothing to lose. She's just hanging in there. And then, even the fifth game, it was like almost like a one-sided in the fifth game. Whether that took it out of Al Shabini from, the 5 set against Sobi, but, that is a huge upset. But young guns are coming through, right? Shabini's been there for so long. She's had so many 5-setters, and it does start taking, the 5-setters do start taking its toll earlier on now than opposed to, you've got 2 or 3 in your back pocket through the tournament, or you know how to push mentally. Seeing her play against Sobi was like, damn, she just looking like, yeah.
Yeah. Pilley, did you see the big upset match?
No, I caught parts of it. It was funny. Like I watched a lot of the Sobi Shabini one, and when Shabini ran away with that fifth game, I was like, okay, maybe that sort of kicked herself into gear here. She's run away. She's down 2-1. She's run away with that fifth game. And then she goes 2-1 up in that upset match, and you sort of think, okay, she's 2-1 up. She's going to get the job done. But I mean, tell you what, that first tournament of the season, you never know, boys. Get some upsets.
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of cool that the Abu Elkir is clearly looked up to El Shabini. Like they kind of got similar hair, they dress kind of similar. She even swings the racket a similar way, to El Shabini, and then to go out there and beat someone who's probably been her hero for the last 10 years is pretty massive, right?
Yeah, she would have idolized her growing up for sure.
That's got to be a wonderful feeling, and even when they're shaking hands or hugging at the end of it, there's so much respect there, and it's going to be your best win. You look up to somebody that you're doing this, you're doing that, you're implementing the game when you're watching every single movement that they do on the squash court, how they play. You go and try and play with them, then all of a sudden you're competing against them. That in itself goes a long way of competing against someone you've looked up to. It's like, well, I can't be beating my hero, this and that. And then all of a sudden in front of the pyramids in the first tournament, it's like, boom, 1 in 5. Great for the young lady.
That was big. And then, look, did any of you guys see Gohar going down 3-love like that? I mean, the scoreline was pretty close, but I didn't see 3-love.
No. I was in for a fiery 5-setter as it normally is.
Yeah, three love is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
I picked Tanya to win that match, but in that three love scoreline, I don't think anyone would have predicted that. I mean, that had a absolute 5-game war written all over it. I mean, credit to her. She went on and got the job done and just ran through the tournament, but that's huge, huge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, mate, they're going to be at each other again, looks like, in the semis this week coming up. But just before we move on to the men's, in that women's final, I did watch that whole match, and I love how well Orphe's playing, but she just didn't look on the same level as Elhaoui to me. She got beaten pretty handily, I thought. What did you guys think of that?
So I'm just yelling at the dogs. I mean, you have a look at Orphe. She knows what she's doing. She gets to a major final. It's 4-all, 5-all. Then all of a sudden, within the next 90 seconds, 2 minutes, she's lost 3 or 4 points. You know, that in itself, that's the junior coming out of it. But you know, nothing taken away from her mammy, but you know, she was there, left, right, and center. Maybe fell asleep a little bit in the third, but then it was the clean sweep in the fourth, right? You know, straightforward. But you know what Orphe's got to offer, or what she's already offering these top players, and getting the results. You know, and what is she? 18?
Yeah,
Final
18, right?
Still wearing glasses. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's what the commentators are saying. I completely forgot about it. Then all of a sudden, it's like, you know, she's got another year and a half for juniors, but in the senior rank, she still has to wear the eyewear, which is the rules. But she's obviously used to it, and it doesn't affect her. Look what she's doing. Doesn't affect her at all.
No.
All right. On to some of the men's, because there were some cracking matches. And apologies, boys. I actually didn't write down all the bets from last week, so I'll have to run through those in a bit of a separate one.
That's right, Jeff. I think I won them all, mate. So
I think you did too.
Hey, mate, if they're lost, it's just one of those things, mate. It's a loss. It's a lost bet shit. So
I will personally. I will personally go back and clip.
I didn't write them down. I didn't write them down either. So
it's on YouTube.
You know,
don't worry.
That's like, you know, when you come down for a Sunday doubles, you know, the first game, it just doesn't count. It's just a warm up, right?
Well,
so now we start.
Look here, I think Pilley did make a bit of a prediction that Hesham was going to struggle in that first round matchup with El Nawazny, and Whitey and I both looked at you, Pilley, like you're a little bit crazy that there was no way that was going to happen. And then look at that scoreline. What did you see there, Pill?
I just know my squash boys. What can I?
No, you knew something was wrong with Hesham. Somebody told you it had to. I tell you what, there's some under the carpet betting here, buddy. Mate, you're getting slipped something.
I mean, I mean, that scoreline did surprise me. Like, that's a convincing 3-love victory. Like 4-9-5. Didn't see that. I don't know. Like Mazden, we know when he plays well, he's unbelievable and he can beat anyone in the world. Again, like, I don't know. I just find the first 1 or 2 tournaments of the season, you just sort of like Mazden. I think like midway through this season, I can see him hitting some form, barring any sort of injury. But his first couple of events, you know, if he's had a decent summer of training, I don't know. He's the type of player I think he needs to play himself into the season. I haven't looked at the draw closely for this next one, but you know, I think whoever he's playing,
he's got Dimmy.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got to give himself a big wake up call. You know, and we spoke of this the last tournament. It's like you're going to find out who's actually been doing quite a bit in the summer, or who's just looking forward to the first tournaments and seeing how they're playing. And you know, Mazin is he's a great player, but if he's not feeling on that day and he knows it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle, he probably threw the towel in halfway through the first game. Right, the first game is like 10 minutes, and then it's like, I'll give it a shot in the second. If I win the second, possibly win 4 or 5 and just push the way through, then all of a sudden it's like, you know, the scoreline says it all. But for a first tournament like that and that result, not to take anything away from his opponent, you know, it's a big wake up call of there's some guys who are like, I want him the next round. You know, I want him the next tournament because he's actually not ready, or he could be. You never know. He could come out in Qatar and go through the semis or whatever. You know, you just can't write him off, that's for sure. It's like Gawad. We were talking about Gawad last time. It's like you just never know who's going to show up for Gawad. It gets you showed up. The one who could play squash.
Yeah.
Former world champion Gawad.
Squash or what?
Yeah.
Hey, real quick on to Paddy Rooney. It was great to see him starting to mount a bit of comeback there. That's a pretty convincing win over a very tricky Rafa, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's like Rooney. He's such a lovely guy on and off the court. Clean player. He's put the work in, and you know it's good to see him back. And hopefully he can go through a few more extra rounds and come up the rankings again.
Pilley, did you pick young Timmy Brownell to take out your mate Nicky?
I did. You know what? Those first 3 results we've just spoken about. I don't want to blow my own trumpet here, but I've picked every upset there. So I did pick Brownell to take down Nicky. It was a tough one to not pick Nicky. Good friend, but I know he struggled a little bit. Probably in the last month or two with a little injury. He was back, but probably a little bit.
See that's inside information that I did not know last week. Right?
Oh,
you got to
get on the socials.
You got to say these things.
You got to get on the socials, Nicky's socials, mate. You know, it gives you all the info you need.
I struggle starting my computer, buddy, let alone sitting on Facebook and Twitter or TikTok or whatever you're on. I have no.
Well, Kelly, surely you didn't pick Abu Elgar to go down in 3 after his really nice showing last week.
That was one match I did not. I mean, you probably have the stats there, Jeff. I don't know if anyone picked that, but I did not see that coming anywhere.
No.
It's a great win for Bell.
But he's also another one of these talented players that, you know, he's going to put in. He probably went for too many winners and just, you know, he clips the top of the 10. It's just like he's in there. Then all of a sudden it's like, why do you have to go for that? I know why you have to go for it. I used to as well. And it's like, yeah, this will look good. And then but it's like, yeah, he's probably played it a million times, those little backhand drops and volley drops and everything. But it's like, you know, it was just at very, very crucial times. And it's like, then it's almost like he wants to win that next rally as quick as he can. But yeah, it's sad to see him out, but you know.
Let's move up to your boy, Pilley. Massive win for Al Tamimi to take out Mo at the top there in 3 as well. What went on there, mate?
I think it's the first time Abdullah's beaten Mo. Again, strangely convincing scoreline there, 9-6-8. Like that's that's I don't want to say straightforward, but that's a convincing win. I didn't see it coming. We know how Abdullah can play on his day. He can take that one-off unbelievable win, but he's been so close so many times, but he hasn't quite gotten through. I mean, clearly something's clicked for him over the summer. Mentally, he's probably in a really good spot. That mixed with some really good training. I know he's been training with Greg over in Czech, so that might have helped him a ton. Just a change of scenery, change of coach there, and clearly something's clicked for him there.
Well, and look on the bottom half, the other side of that matchup, you had Jonah taking out Lionel Cardenas, which is I thought a pretty strong win in what was a very tough match, and then Jonah steamrolled Tamimi straight after that. Eh?
Yeah, the Tamimi Bryant match was just literally Bryant was on fire, and from seeing Tamimi play all the highlights with Shabaghi and taking out Shabaghi 3-love, you'd think you'd have some high confidence, that is for sure. But then, you know, it was one-way traffic with Jonah. Obviously, Jonah just didn't do much wrong at all, hardly any unforced errors.
Yeah.
And you play like that, and Tamimi, I don't know, didn't have a good start. Maybe could have taken a little bit too easy, thinking he's playing great squash and just taking out Shabaghi, or he was a little tight. You never know.
That I can see that happening there, Whitey. Just you know the feeling when you sort of you get that big upset win, you're absolutely flying, and all of a sudden you're almost half expected. Everyone's expecting you to carry that form on and win the next match as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
just up. Yeah.
Very complete opposite, mate. Yeah, and especially on those backcourts, because they're playing on those backcourts of the club. It's like it's hot and bouncy. You can't really put too many away unless you're literally rolling them out.
Yeah.
And you know that in itself is frustrating, playing somebody who could have been a little bit different on the glass court, where it's a little bit dead at the front and it dies the back. But you know those back courts, it's anyone's ball game really.
It is. It's brutal.
Speaking of back courts, we had that first round. Young Adam takes out Curtis Malik in 4, which I think everyone was a little shocked at and went, "Wow, this kid played really well." You know, that's a massive win, but not a soul on this earth would have picked that next match to take out Mr. PD Cole. What What did you see happen there, Whitey? That's the upset for the ages.
Well, that's history just there. It's the lowest ranked player ever to beat anyone that far in front of on them in the rankings. It's history. But I watched the match and it was just Paul. I'm not saying he didn't play his best, but Howell didn't have anything to lose. Got to tell you, we spoke about this before. Like, see, he got some shocking calls towards the very end, the crucial. Yeah, he did have some leads, and then the young guy came back. The young guy didn't have anything to lose, but then it was the same old, same old. The calls didn't go your way, as you saw. Paul he's getting upset. He doesn't get upset a lot, but you see some of those calls at those crucial times, it turns matches. And then Paul doesn't know if he can. He held his temper. I would have done more than smash a rack on the side wall. Even when he was playing his backhand drop shots, you could see when he wanted to play him, he was uncertain about what he should do because the young guy again. The old. I'm going to run into somebody's middle of the back. As opposed to trying to go around, and he was getting strokes against him. And it was like, well, come on now. And so he's trying to hold and flick the ball cross court from his backhand. Doesn't normally do that, but is he trying to play something different because he doesn't want to give away cheap stroke or anything else? So I'm not saying that cost him a match, but it sometimes turns the results, and it makes you mentally sort of think about how do I play? You're going to play a certain shot and think, damn, I should play something else. And then as you saw, you get frustrated. You don't play your best. You're not really thinking about the way you should be playing, and Paul's never really that complaining about any calls, but he held his temper quite well. So, but he did get robbed, but Howell got the victory and made history. So, good luck to him.
Yeah, and Pilley, you saw there, the young fella did take away that front left corner, which Paul puts a fair few winners on that back end drop in, right? And the kid took that away by either getting up there and straightening the ball really well. I don't know if you guys noticed, he did a really good job of getting that back down the ball, or fished his way through a stroke. And I know Whitey said, it didn't cost him the match, and then told us it cost him the match. But how did you see it, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, it's similar. I mean, we know Paul does like taking that counter drop in, especially, and working into that front left to set his game up. And like what he said, like you take someone's strength away there, whether it's someone just charging through, trying to get strokes or whatever it is, all of a sudden, like you're second guessing yourself with every short ball you're going to hit. I mean, we've all been there. It's a brutal feeling. And it was just uncomfortable the whole match. Like, the game he got 11. What he got 11. The first game was convincing, but for the next 3 games, it was just second guessing himself, not too sure what shot to hit. Like you said, he started flicking these cross courts. I mean, he'll probably bounce back next event, and I'd say he's just trying to get that match out of his head and just move on to the next one.
Yeah, and look, I thought Howell would go on to actually cause a little bit of trouble in his next one, and you can see that from the scores too. He didn't really trouble Dasuki much at all. But look, on to
that was when he played Dasuki. That was a letdown also, because I don't think he tried 100% in that match. Like the first game, he just went back and forwards and just like, oh, okay, well, I'll put it in here, and then pushed a little bit in the second. But that's where it is. Again, you have the big win. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure everyone's wanting to have a chat with him. Yeah, 2 big wins. But then it's like, you've got nothing to lose. You got to play the same way, and anything could happen. But it wasn't his best. But that was on the glass court, right? And that was his first time out in the glass courts.
Yeah.
He's on a big stage. He was on a big stage after beating Paul Cole on the backcourts. He's now in front of the pyramids, and he's on a big stage for the first time, right after 2 big victories. And obviously being a young Egyptian, everyone's wanting to have a conversation with him, and he's in the press, he's everywhere. Then all of a sudden, it's like that there mentally takes its toll as well. But I would have liked to see a little more out of him, just to see how much push he's got, see how much he's got left in the tank. But
well, look, fellas, there's a couple other matches I wanted to chat about before we kick on, and obviously you guys mentioned which guard shows up, and obviously against Kareem El Torki there, he went down 2-love. Sorry, he won that first and then lost the next two pretty convincingly, and then got his wriggle on and just snuck in. But then that match, I don't know about you guys, but when Gouard's playing well and he played really well against Joel Macon, I really like watching it. Like his backhand is beautiful. Like his backhand length is amazing. That drop at the front is incredible. And that was an incredible match. I thought Macon didn't play that poorly. It was just Gouard on fire.
It was a great match, and what we saw about Gouard, it's like the two Gouards turned up against El Torquay, it's like he wins 12, he wins 12-10, then he wins 11-3, he loses 11-3, 11-3, and then just comes out and plays the way we know he can play, or when he wants to play. And then against Macon didn't do that much wrong. He just got outplayed, and when Gouard's on, he moves the ball around so nicely. He understands the open court. He knows how to move around, and when his backhand's on, I think that's when he loves to play squash. When his backhand's a little off, it's like he's like, well, that's my favorite shot, or that's my favorite side. Things are breaking down, but he weights the ball so well. If he really wants to put pressure on it, his racket head speed comes through so quickly, and he can put pace on, but he can also slow it down so nicely, and he's just got such a fluid swing. It's when he's on and he's playing really well, he's one of the nicest to watch, and he's also a very, very clean player. He just gets along with it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So when that tournament is, as we said before, all depends on which Gouard shows up out first round or onto the final, and he just gets. And once you
with your summary of Gouard there, Whitey, it's a buttery backhand. Put it that way.
yeah.
Kelly, how many of those full wind up to drop shots of Gouard's did you ever pick when you played him?
He snapped my ankle a few times. Put it that way. No, I mean he's just a pure squash player. Like, his movements are just so squash specific. I know his training is very squash specific. You look at Paul, you look at Joel, they're absolute beasts, like physical beasts. But then you look at Gouard and it's just all squash. Like his movements are just all squash. So, I mean, playing him, you don't expect him to be as quick and as fit as he actually is, because he doesn't come across like a Joel Macon, a Paul Cole, like just a physical specimen. And Gouard, like, I mean, you can probably get it up, but his 5-game record is a joke. Like, Gouard wins so many 5-gamers, and again, you don't expect it, but it's just, he's pretty to watch.
Exactly, because he puts a lot of work into guys before they get to the 5th as well. Like, you've just got to push hard to stay with him through that as well.
I think so, but also, like, he comes out of the block so well in the 5th game. Like, he comes out as strong as anyone. It's like he's as fresh as a daisy. He's just out of the blocks, and doesn't matter how much work you've got him to do. He takes his 2 minutes break, and next thing you know, he goes hard for half a game. And if he gets a lead, I mean, he's going to be tough to catch.
Yeah, real tough. And then he put on a good show against Asal. Those first 3 games, I mean, discounting the 4th because it was kind of over by then. But those first 3 games were some really high quality squash, and I think he pushed Asal the most out of anyone during the week with that match. But one question I've got for you, you both, so you might have to have a little think about it, is in your career, what was your biggest upset you were involved in? Either you upset someone else or you got taken out by someone that didn't expect it. What was the biggest one you were involved with? I'll go to you first, Pilley. Do you remember who it was?
Damn.
I remember on the receiving end, put it that way, I was playing out in Hong Kong, Macau. And I mean, it's pretty bad I'm pretty much saying who's my worst loss. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, without dissing the guy that beat you, who was it?
I mean, he's a good friend, Chris Ryder from England.
You lost to Chris Ryder?
Yeah. In Macau, I mean, Macau's a fun place.
Say no more.
And played backcourts in Macau. First round, me and Chris, like we'd hung out a fair bit, previous tournaments, like good friend. And he takes me down in 5, and I'm like, I shouldn't have lost this. And then, you see the write-ups, and it's like, this is the best win in my career, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or what. That would be yeah, me being on the other end of an upset, I'd say. Let me have a think about my best win, though.
All right. Well, we'll go to Whitey because Whitey, other than that semi-final at the Germantown club where you lost that match to me 15-14 in the fifth, what would you say?
When was that? When was that?
You don't remember?
No. What, in
15
doubles?
I think your partner hit the ball into the floor, but look, we'll leave
We're
that for
talking
another
about doubles. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
talking about
sorry.
doubles. Yeah, I didn't. I played really, really well. It was my partner that let me down. So it wasn't really, yeah.
Usually is the partner's
But
fault.
then what happened in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, no, you took Maddie and I apart. Well, we won't talk about Jensen and I getting taken apart by you there. And anyway, but what was on the PSA tour, Whitey? What was the biggest upset you were involved in?
It would have to be one of my first trips. I played in Japan, probably 97, 98. I took out Willie Walker, Chris Walker. I think it was in the first round I'd qualified, and then took him out in the first round. And then, well, actually saying that, taking out Paul Gregory at the British Open after qualifying first round. He was. They were both. I think they might have been both top 10. Yeah, but Willie Walker wasn't happy, but he got revenge after a while. But yeah, that was everything went well. We were in the back courts, had a few hacks. He didn't know what the skid boast was. I was still trying to work the skid boast out, but it worked.
Then you worked it back
trying to
in.
hit the ball straight and just clipping the side ball, or was it an actual skid boast?
Well, that's where I got good at doubles. You just aim for the front corner. It's going to go somewhere. If it goes straight, it's perfect. If they take that wrong step and it goes straight, and they think it's going to go cross court, they ain't getting it. Or they think it's going to go straight and it hits the side wall first, and it goes zipping across them. They got no chance.
Yeah.
No, nice. And Phil, your biggest win, mate?
I think just off the top of my head, I think it. I mean, I'd always play my best squash over my career when I played for Australia. So I would say it was probably I beat Linku for the bronze medal match for Australia. It came down to me versus Linku, and he was obviously well into top 10. I think I was top 20 maybe. I'd never beaten him before, and I took him down three level 3-1 to snatch bronze for Australia. So that was up there.
What about your super series run when you got to the final?
Finals, Pilley. Come on.
Yeah, but I beat Shibagi a few times, mate. I mean, there was, my game matched up so well with Shibagi that.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, every time I beat him, it was a big upset. Like,
yeah, of course.
He was, number one, I think, a few times when I played him. But I always had the confidence I could do really well against Shibagi. I like playing him. I know he hated playing me, and he'd tell me that. I'm like, mate, don't tell me that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's him being a legend of the sport, telling somebody, I don't like playing you, buddy. I don't like your backhand. And then all of a sudden you go and play your backhand. It's like, oh, fucking hell, I don't know what to do.
I'm like, well, there's one game in the bag right there. I'd probably say that Linku match, and then there was one time I beat Australia was playing Egypt in France. Again, world teams. Egypt were red hot favourites to win the whole event. They were so confident against us that they dropped Rami, I think it was, for the semi-final against us, because they're like, well, we've got Darwish at number 2, so Darwish can play number 1, and then everyone just steps up, and you got Mossad, you got Tarek Momin, so they're red hot team. And I'd never beaten Darwish, and I think I was on first, and I've played out of my skin, and I took him down 3-1, and all of a sudden, like, everyone's come over to watch our semi-final because they're like, Australia's one up against Egypt, and now I think it's Tarek and Kusk going on, and we're like, this could be a huge upset if we can get this done. And Cuff came close. He lost a tight 5-setter, but we were this close to knocking out Egypt in the semis, and they were like almost unbackable favourites for the title. So probably beating Darwish in that semi-final, that's up there as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great win, actually.
Yeah. I think that Linku win's my favourite, Pill. He was incredible to watch, and just one of the most beautiful movers on the court. So that's a great win. So. All right, boys. Let's look forward at the matchup for this for this coming up Qatar Classic. You guys played in Qatar a few times. What's it like, the atmosphere over there? It's, usually on Squad TV you see a few empty stands. What's it like over there?
Yeah, it's a little bit. You play on the glass court, you play on the outside courts. You play in the facility. It's not the same crowds as Egypt, that's for sure. When you're watching Egypt and you're on squash TV, like being out there live is awesome. I'm going to try and plan a trip out there next year if I can get away, just to go to the facility. But when you're getting 2,500, 3,000, 2 kilometers in the desert, and it's loud, it's awesome to see, and especially when you're watching through PSA Live, it's like that's what you want to see. And Qatar, it's a lovely facility. They do so much for squash, but it's like it's more just the expats that are living over there that will come and watch, and the players and whoever's traveling with the players and all the sponsors and everything that goes there. It's a lovely facility. The backcourts are, quite lively, still a little bit dead, but then that glass court, I don't know if it's changed or whatever, but it's a little bit cold because it's in a quite a nice arena. I think you can fit maybe 1,000, 1,500 around there. I don't know if it's changed that much, but it's quite chilly, but it's faster on the front wall, but you can put the ball away nicely.
Yeah.
You got to pick obviously you got to pick your time, but those who've got a lovely short game and can really attack, it changes the ball game, that is for sure. So it's a lovely court to play on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is quick off the front wall, and it's a really dead court. So I think whoever's hitting the best length and has that first chance to go in short, you see a few tactical masterclasses out there as well. I remember last year, maybe 2 years ago, watching Ali Farad put on an absolute lob drop masterclass against a few of those top. Remember that?
Yeah, saw that. Yeah.
This is unbelievable. You're sort of thinking, oh, I need to hit firm length to the back. I need to like drill it past the guy. And he's just gone a different tact and gone, I'm just going to lob drop this all game. He's taking guys apart. It's pretty
even like he's so good at throwing that lob drop in or the lob boast in, and he sits on that cross court.
Yeah.
He doesn't try and smack it through the middle.
No.
He just places it maybe 1 foot, 2 feet above the service line, out of your reach, and it dies in the back of the court. He can make you work, and then all of a sudden he's just volley dropping it back in there. And like that glass court, you can really lob drop that ball in there, and it still stays an extra 1.5 feet forward. So it actually works. You're putting the work in the. You do a lob drop on the back courts, it's coming back halfway between the front wall and the service line, front of the service line. So it's a completely different tactics. But yeah, when he was on, and he was one of the best at working out how bouncy the court is, what you need to change, if you got to hit through it, if you just got to get on there and you know what, I'm just going to play 70-year-old squash and lob drop. And that is when that game is on, I love doing that with the college kids. Okay, your tactic this game, and you can't do anything, lob drop only. They're like, well, why? Then all of a sudden, they win the first 5 points. And it's like, and I'm like, how many did you win? Because you hit a good lob and it didn't come out of the back corners. You work on your opponent. I'm not saying you have to play like that all the time. It's just a condition game. But he did it so well and just understood the court environment that he was in and playing on. Did it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to make for some interesting matchups here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a few I'm looking at there where I think this could really come into play. That special court from those couple on that left side there, Pilley. Look, obviously, Ibrahim and Paul Kohler as a first round matchup is a big standout. I'd love to get your dollar there, but also any of the other matches that look interesting to you.
I mean, there's some good matches this first round. Like, just on that left side, so the top half there. I mean, geez, you've got the two French guys going at it first round there. You've got Deck and Ali Abu. That's going to be.
Does it say? It doesn't say what court they're on, right?
No,
because you're going to have the top. I wouldn't be surprised if the top 4 are going to be on the glass court first, which completely changes. The matchup, right? If this was all on the back courts, it's like you're going to have a few iffy ones, but
yeah, you'd almost go maybe the top 8 split over two days. I think it is. Oh, actually, no. Round one looks like
round one is all on one day. So you're going to have.
It's got to be back
because the top. I would have to say the top 8 are going to be on.
Yeah.
the glass court, right? And then the others are going to be on the back courts. So the glass courts, as it used to be, start at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And go through until 8 o'clock, right? And then same as the back two courts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't know. You just don't know.
I mean, there's some tough matchups on just that top half there. I mean, there's some interest.
It's some interesting.
I mean, quite a few of those matches are a 50-50. I mean, Ibrahim and Paul Cole, like that's an absolute cracker. 12:45, second match on, middle of the day.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of playing 12:45. I like sort of easing my way into the day.
Yeah.
And then
3:45, 4:30 tee off is perfect.
That's prime time, baby. That's prime time.
8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, it's bedtime.
Too late. Give me that window. I need the window.
All right. Well, listen here, old man. Give me a dollar on either Cole or Ibrahim there. I'll let you pick first, Cameron, off the block. Seeing you were the leader last week.
He's probably got inside trading about what's going on anyway.
It's
you're away.
You're away.
We don't see anything.
You're away.
Knowledgeable guy.
Who you got?
I mean, I'm going to say Paul has to bounce back from last event. He's not going to go away and sort of, chill out, sulk about it, have a sulk, not train. Like he's probably gone back and just absolutely ripped into the training. And he's probably going to come out there with a point to prove. So I'm going with Paul Cole there.
Do you want to take the other side of that, Whitey, or you think your man Cole's got this?
Cole's got it.
Okay.
I'm down at least $7.50. I'm going to save my retirement, buddy. This is coming out of my retirement.
You're well in the hole.
It's coming up. We'll look into that next round. The other side of the draw, the bottom half there. Macon Zachariah is a first up match.
Ooh. I'll let Whitey. You can have a go at this one. I've got some thoughts on this one.
So do I. I'm going against my man. Well, you got to have a look at like on that glass court. It's like Joel doesn't put the ball away that well. He likes to grind them down. If it's on the glass court, it's you're almost tipping the scale a little bit in Zachariah. It's like, he's got nothing to lose. He's a very good player. He's going out there with, everything that he's got. And it's like, Joel, you never know, but it's like, damn, who do I go with? Damn.
He's a great counter-attacking young Zachariah, right? Like Joel will put a ball in there and he'll come in skidding and counter drop it. Like
he's moving the way he slides into the front corners and what he can do with it. Obviously, it's a lot of practice with the courts when in Egypt they sand the courts 4 weeks before a tournament starts, so everyone gets used to it. I can't believe I'm going to say this.
All right, Pilley, you've automatically got the other side of that, mate.
I'll take Joel purely because we're just going to have a dollar on this, Whitey.
Not confident, though, Pilley. Why are you not confident? Why do you think Zachariah's got this?
They played each other last tournament, right? Joel got through a tough 3-1. Joel's played a couple of tournaments already. It's either going to work for him or work against him. He's gone deep. He's gone pretty deep in each event. It's either going to work for him and, he's match fit. He's got a bunch of matches under his belt to kick off the season. So that can work in his favor and it can also work against him to the point where he's gone deep in 2 tournaments to kick it off.
Yeah.
And he's done a ton of work. Zachariah, it feels like he's on the brink of producing some serious upsets.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And is Zachariah training full-time in Qatar, right?
I'm actually not sure. Is he full-time?
That's what tipped me. I shouldn't have given you.
You got some inside knowledge.
That's not inside knowledge. I'm giving you the inside. You didn't give me shit last time. I was told he's training over at.
Who's that with? Danny Jens or
no at that stadium? So who's at the stadium? So who's over in Qatar now? Danny's at the. I know it's Danny and John Power.
Is it Power?
Right?
Yeah, he's out there with Power.
Yeah.
I know he's done some stints out there. Yeah. It just feels like he's on the brink. I mean, if he doesn't get it done this tournament, at some point this season, he's going to go pretty deep in some events.
It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
If he gets through that, he's going to get through the next one, whether Jonah or Nick Mueller wins. And then he's got Marwan or Tamimi in,
and that's
You know, that's
I
an
mean,
open draw. That's
That's
it.
an open draw.
If he's gonna break through with beating one of the top guys early on, this is the tournament for him, for the
Yeah.
young fella.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
All right, I want one more dollar before we move into some later rounds. Esham or Dimmy? John, who are you going with there, mate?
Well, I don't know what to think about Mazin after last effort, but again, you know, he's got to come out and start proving himself early on. He didn't do it in the first tournament, so I've got Mazin.
Mazin.
All right, take the Steinman for the other side of that dollar there, Pilley.
I'll take the Steinman. It looks like it's going to be on a backcourt, so that's good for Dimmy. You know,
Yeah.
Mazin's got good memories. I don't know how many years ago it was now. It feels forever, but 6, 7, 8 years ago, he had a hot run through to the semis out in Qatar when what did he reach his highest ranking? Top 7, I think it was. Top 8, top 7.
I think he got 7, didn't he?
Mazin? Yeah.
Mazin.
Yeah. So he's got some good memories from out there. If he can recapture some of that form, like, you know, as we know, like if you have a good run at a place, doesn't matter where it is, you go back to that place with fond memories, you can reproduce that form. In saying that, give me Steinman.
Okay, I'm going to throw another couple of dollar bets out here. If these matchups don't happen, we'll null and void the dollar bet. Looking further down the track, if Gawad and Paul Cole meet in the quarters, who you got, Cameron?
Who's going for who?
I'll make Pilley go because it's a tough
Well,
one.
you go, Pilley.
So they're due to meet in the quarters, right?
Yeah.
So they've got to get through a couple. I like where Gawad's game is at right now. So I'm going to go Gawad.
Do you want the other side of that, Whitey? Yeah, I thought.
Yes,
I thought
please.
you might. And then what about if Marwan comes up against the Shabani killer in Tamimi? What happens? What happens there, Whitey? What do you want? You
Not
reckon
Tamimi.
you want Tamimi? I love that. All right, Billy, you got Marwan there, surely.
I probably would have gone to Mimi as well.
You have to. It's his hometown. He's playing well. He's got nothing to lose.
I mean, to me, like
On that court.
early days, he would get pretty nervous when he got those wild cards, like what seemed like a lifetime ago. Very nervous, edgy, playing in front of his home country. But over the past few years, like he almost beat Nick Matthew. He probably should have beat Nick Matthew a bunch of years ago.
Yeah. You know, that's the thing. He's past that stage, right? He's past that nervous stage, playing your hometown, home court. But
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
go on.
yeah.
All right. Well, then the last one I'll make you guys pick for me is if Abu Elgar and Muhammad El Shabagi roll into the next round together. Would either of you pick Abu Elgar to get up after almost getting him the first time and then having a shocker last tournament? Does he come back strong or no chance? What do you reckon?
Shabagi's always going to be picking himself up, right? He's had some good results in Qatar, but you know, saying that, am I choosing first?
I mean, you don't have to choose. I'm just throwing it out there. If either of you want Abu Elgar, I know someone else will take the other side of that. Do you want him or?
Yeah, I got him.
Okay, Whitey's got him. Cameron, you got your man. I don't like.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. Bounce back.
Come on, young man. Let's go. Let's get it on.
I mean, even looking at Siva's up to her best ranking of number 7 in the world after, you know, she's had a good start. She's probably hitting a bit of form.
Yeah, I can see her going. I can see her going on to the quarters to play the Mummy.
Yeah, I see that.
And then her Mummy to play all 3 in the semis.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys that because that little side of the draw there is pretty stacked. You got Siva, you got Nelle, you got Georgina Adderley, who's had a couple of really good matches. Jasmine, who's had a couple of good ones, and Hania all there. So you guys think Siva's going to make a little bit of a run this tournament? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Big confidence from the last tournament as well, and then you know, obviously, you know, always move. You know, when you go inside the top 16, then you go inside the top 10, and your ranking still goes up. And now she's in the top 8, the highest ranking. It's got to be a huge boost for her. And when she's confident, I've seen it through college. When she's confident and she's had the results and she's feeling good, she can play.
Yeah, she can play.
Yeah.
All right, great to see Olivia Weaver back after a little groin twinge.
Yeah.
She's in the top there.
Yeah, she's been putting the work in. I've been seeing her across at the Spectre Centre, and she's there most days. So she's obviously back, and she's obviously sees her physios and her trainers and everything else that goes with that, with recovery. So it'll be good to see her back. Hopefully, she is back in full swing, and it's nothing too serious that's going to keep on coming back or sort of stop her from playing. But if she's back 100% and confident, which she always is, a lovely player. I can see her getting through.
Yeah.
She may have a little bit of trouble with Tine, but I can see her getting through that if nothing else goes wrong with the injury and it's there and it doesn't hinder her at all. Especially if she's on that glass court, obviously it's a little bit dead, so she's going to be doing a little bit more movement to the front corners. Give her a little bit of a hiccup, but you know what? We'll soon see when she gets out there.
If her body's right, and I don't think she's going to play the event if she's even 80%, 85%. She's probably just going to pull the pin and get ready 100% for the next one. Injuries aside, niggles aside, like looking at that bottom half, I can see Olivia and Shabini steamrolling through to that. What do we got? The semi.
The semis, yeah.
There's a couple of potential banana skins in there, but
speaking of banana skins, Cameron, can you give me $1 on either Hesney or the giant killer Welkir? Who you got?
I mean, I would normally say Tesney. No, Tesney, good friends. But based on current red hot form, I'm probably going to go Abawelkir.
Do you want Tesney on that one, John? She's tough as that girl. She's not going to give in lightly.
Yeah, she's very tough. She's tough, but not that tough for this round.
All right.
I'm saving me $1.
Save your $1. All right. So, boys, here's what I want out of you just to wrap this up. We'll do one prediction for who you got to win the women's and one prediction for who you got to win the men's. I'll let you pick first, Whitey, seeing you took such a hiding at the last tournament, mate, from Pilley. Who you picking to win the women's in Qatar?
I got Shabini.
Okay. Cameron.
Give me Hamami all day.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Back here, boys. Back here. Cameron, you're away. Who do you want?
I mean,
don't say it.
Say it. Say it.
Don't say it.
I'm gonna have to go with Sol.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call a Hamami a Sol double again. I picked them both last tournament. Just FYI.
That was just a warm up tournament. I told you that.
Yeah, but boys, they're both in convincing form. Like,
yes, they are. Yeah.
And obviously they both went deep. They got a ton of matches under their belts, but the way they both finished the tournaments, like I can see them just carrying that form straight in.
Why do you think you got for the men's?
Well, I was going to have a Sol because it's just a court environment is going to suit his game, right? But I need to go against Pilley. I'm going to go with.
Diego. I thought you were going to go Gawad for a second there, mate, with the soft touch.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but no. I'll go Elias.
Why can't I see? I know you've got that one up there. I can't see Diego on the squash TV draw.
Really?
He hasn't pulled out, right?
Not that I know of.
Don't forget he hurt his knee, right, in the final.
I've got a feeling I can't find him right now.
So if he's pulled out, it's a complete redraw. So we could be just going off and on a rampage for nothing. But if
on the squash TV draw, they've got it up. He's not in, but on the PSA website, they don't even have the draw up. So we may have to revisit that on the socials.
That's probably why
Yeah. We may have to revisit some pics on the socials if there's a late change there.
Yeah,
maybe he has pulled out because
and Ali Abu into Cole's place by the look. It doesn't look like there's been much other change though. Macon's still got Zakaria. Shabagi Marwan moves in to play Ibrahim first round.
So who's Paul play first round?
Paul's down the bottom and he's got Yao.
He'll take Yao out. That's an easier first round than Ibrahim, that's for sure.
Mate.
Yeah.
I'd hate to play Ibrahim there first round. Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. Stay tuned because there'll be some good stuff there. All right, boys. Appreciate your time. Thanks for getting involved and chucking your bets down.
All right. Later, guys.
Legend. See you guys.